Hi everyone. So today I'm going to draw a mandala, and that's what I'm going to take you through. To draw this, what I've set is I've set up a square. If you see over here in the new sketch, there's an option for a square drawing or square canvas. I've set that up. I've also set the sketchbook app with radial sections, and I've kept the radial sections like 12 sections in the page. Right now I've set it at the center, so that's what I'm going to start with. Having said that, I am very new to drawing mandalas using sketchbook, so if I make any mistakes, please do let me know. If you think that there's something I can do much better, let me know, and I'm open to all sorts of comments so that I can improve this. So first what I do is I'm going to divide this into, like I said, radials, and I'm going to lock this. So I've locked it up, if you can see, and I've also make sure that I don't go across the sections. Now I've set my pen to a very fine thing. I'm going to increase it a little bit so that my circle is a little darker. So if you see over here, I've used the pen and I've set the flow at 100%. Everything is set up. My color is black and my flow is set up at 100%. It's a basic tattoo ink. I'm going to make my lines a little darker. Okay, and because in terms of size, I'm going to increase it. I can increase it from here. I can increase it from there as well. So that's fine. And I have marked a circle. That's where I'm going to start at. Okay. So now I'm gonna zoom in because I want this to be very minute, and as you can see, this didn't turn out minute enough. So I'm gonna reduce the size of my pen and then make this sort of a flower-like thing, and I'm gonna make it a little darker because I like things when they're a little darker. I'm gonna put a line through it in the middle, and then I'm going to put a dot for it. Yeah, so it seems a little big, but this is how it's going to look up. It's pretty small. And then I'm going to put a circle around this. Okay, I'm going to put the circle, and I'm going to fill up these gaps. Okay, so that this is the only white that they have here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do this everywhere. Okay, and once I've done that, what I'm going to do is draw another circle, but this time I'm going to make the circle a little thinner and draw another circle. I know some of you might not be doing this over and over thing, but I tend to draw over my own lines because I do like the color to be a little darker. I don't know whether there's another way to do this, but at the moment that's how I'm doing. So now that I've done that, I'm going to zoom it a little bit more, and I'm going to draw more such flowers or this pattern. So, and once, like I said, once I draw that, I'm going to draw more on top of that so that I have some darker lines. So this is how it seems right now. So it's very tiny, like I said, it's very tiny. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and try to put some leaves on top of this. So the leaves would look something like this. And they are literal leaves, and then I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to do one more, so that there's 3 leaves on everything. Okay, and I'm going to put literal leaves, like I said, and I'm going to put okay, so put some lines through that, and then what I'm going to do is join these. So for example, I'm going to join it like this one, because it's going to join into the next one, I'm going to join it like this, join it like this, join this. Okay, so you get the picture. This is how I'm gonna make this section. Okay, and then I'm gonna color them. I'm gonna draw another outline. Let's zoom out a little bit just to see how it looks. Okay, looks good till now. So I'm gonna go back and I'm going to draw another mandala. The reason I thought I'll do one which is more where I sort of explain and talk through, because I know quite a lot of people don't like to listen to other people talking while they're drawing, while they're creating something, is because I wanted to take someone through, or at least someone who's starting off drawing a mandala. I wanted to take them through the thought process on how to use this app. I think the features that I use the most are that I set up the radial, and then I try to get the radial or number of sections as reduced as possible as I finish this and go to the external parts of the pages, just so that it seems a little more, the sections are a little bigger there. And again, of course, the part that I do make sure is I always lock the screen, because I don't want, the radius shifting or the center point shifting. And then the other thing that I do is I make sure I change my pen a lot. Sometimes I even color, but I'll show you that later. I'm going to do a plain one today. So once I've done that, what I'll do is I'll draw sections like this, joining these. Okay. And if you see, and I want to show you that it's okay to make mistakes. If you see I'm making mistakes, I'm fine with it. And with the sketchbook app, I think that's why I like that. There is no feedback on this. Like in a paper, you would have a lot of feedback. That feedback is something I miss. But I think the lack of that is sort of adjusted by the fact that because you lack the feedback, you also have the ability to erase things over and over and do it. So I think I like that a little bit. I was skeptical about trying this first, especially because, like I said, there is no feedback, and that is a little problematic for me. But I think over the times, over the last few months, I've sort of gotten used to it, and I like it now. The fact that even though there is no feedback and I tend to make mistakes, I can erase that and then do it all over again. If you can just see this, I would have made thousands of mistakes here. Most probably by the time I finish, I'll be making a lot more. So that's something that I really like. And that's why I wanted to, for any new person who's starting with, especially using a digital mode for any craft or any art creation, it is a little we all can explore, but it does get a little confusing as to whether you should be doing it, because it can be a little scary. What if doesn't turn up properly? How do I use the app? There are so many questions we have with these things. I've stumbled on a few other things. I've stumbled with a few apps, so I thought, okay, this would be a good, I know you all can use it, but this might be a good option to sort of show someone how to use sketchbook for mandala drawing. So if you see, when you go towards the edges, what you do is you draw. You cannot cross the edges, so you have to actually remove your pen and do this. So if you see, this is what I did. I first drew like the half of it, because I can't cross, and then I drew this half of it, and then I draw like this, and then I draw like this. It's not very fine if you see, but when you see from the top, when you zoom out, it seems all right. It's because I'm too focused in. I could most probably reduce my pen size and it might seem a little better, and I think I might do that still later on. But yeah, for now I think this is what I'm going to do. So then I'll go back, do this, and then if again, like, I made a mistake there, so I'll just erase that. And the reason I like to sort of overwrite is, especially when I'm coloring, like when I'm going to fill up certain spaces, I think the overwriting gives me much more flexibility to make mistakes and adjust my mandala. So I think that's why I like to overwrite. I like really dark pieces. And like I said, maybe I'm making a mistake with this app and I'm not able to figure out how to get to the darkest black. Like this black is not black enough for me. It just doesn't feel right unless I overwrite. So if there's something else that can be done, do let me know. So this is where we are. This is not, it seems like we've drawn a lot, but there's not much. This is how small we are yet. So what we're going to do now is draw the border for this, because yeah, we would like, since it's so dark, we would like some black border for this, or white border for this. And that's it. Okay, cool. So now that we've done this, what we do is we're going to draw again the same pattern that we've drawn earlier. We're going to draw a bigger leaf now. Again, from the center of this, we're going to draw a bigger leaf. So that's going to look like this. Oh no, I think I chose to erase by mistake. So go back to pen and then choose a bigger, when I say choose a big one like this. Okay, because I do need to make that flower inside again, and I already made the mistake, which I did not want to correct. I was a little bit lazy, but I already made the mistake of drawing two small flowers, and I'm not going to do it again. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a little dark and then draw smaller petals in. So this time, because it's bigger, my petals will seem a little more brighter. So it's going to be this bigger petal, and that's it. And same here. Let's make it a little darker because I'll be filling the gaps again. So again, 1, 2, let's draw this. I find mandalas very therapeutic because life as a mother of 2 kids, full-time work, just feel like there's nothing that I don't have as much creative freedom as I used to have. So I like to draw and do anything crafty, mandala, some sort of stitching, home projects, anything that makes me feel like I can let out my creative juices. Sometimes it's not that, like mandala fine, but sometimes it's not very creative when I'm doing home projects, but it gives me a sense of doing something out of the norm. So I know that's not something that everybody might have a time to do or might even prioritize, because quite a lot of people find joys in other things. I find a lot of joy in doing crafts and any form of art forms. So that's where I try to pursue and put up my energy as a healing methodology. After a long week, I try to make sure that I am doing some sort of art form to make myself feel a little better. Okay, so now that we've done this, what we're going to do is again the same pattern over and over again. So it's going to be the same pattern, and if you make a mistake, don't shy away, you can fix it. So if you see, I made 2 mistakes, so I'm gonna make it like this. Okay, so I've done this. For the sake of perspective, if you just want to zoom out and see what this looks like, it's very tiny and very detailed right now. So I like it. And then what I'm going to do is draw some nice pieces in here. For example, this okay, this, then draw a circle, and then with that circle draw the petals that we had earlier. So we're still on the same petal, but it's a little different now. That's it. Okay, and so I'm going to do the same thing everywhere. So this is going to be my design that I'm going to do everywhere. It's going to be this sort of like reverse apostrophe, the dot. There are going to be two smaller dots and a bigger dot. And from here, I'm going to take this, 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 and darken it up. Same thing over here, which is going to be a little difficult because now you have to let us draw on both the sides. It has to cross the boundary, otherwise you're going to not be able to do this design. So especially with the flowers, it has to be able to cross the boundaries. So turn on that setting, and I'll just show you that setting in a while. Okay, so if you see, this is the setting. So when it shows these lines, that means you can go across the sections, and that means that you cannot go across the sections. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going across the sections and I'm completing this. So I've done that, and now I'm going to do more of these flowers. Okay, it's going to be preferably a tiny one, but let's see. So this time what I'm going to do is, it's going to be a bigger one again. Okay, so this is how it's going to look, and this time I'm going to do, again, overlaps on the line. And once I've done that, I'm going to do some borders. Okay, so now that I've done the borders, what I'm going to do is draw like sort of a pattern here within these that's going to be hopefully a little different than what we drew earlier, and then try to draw the reverse of it from here. Okay, and then draw this circle and this circle. Let me just imitate this everywhere before we can proceed further, because like you see, I will not size it properly otherwise. So, and then this. So if to draw whatever we draw, we'll have to, like whenever we do this, because in a section I've kept 3, I will have to draw 3. So now that we've done this, I'm going to do it the reverse way of what we did earlier. I'm going to color outside the shapes that I've drawn instead of inside. If you remember the commas, I had just colored it inside. I'm going to do a layer of opposites. If you see, I'm trying to make this a simple video. I've not changed my pen size because it will be something that's very easy to do. I'll just show you how to do that and proceed further now. because all I've done right now is just made flowers on flowers and layers on layers. There's another tool that you have where you can add layers to a drawing. A lot of people I know, I've seen videos where a lot of people use the ability to add layers to the drawing when they're using sketchbook. I personally like that when I do other drawings, because it's easy to amend a drawing, and you don't have any colors overlapping each other, sections remain different. So I do really like having those layers. They also allow me to pull out a specific layer and make modifications. However, for a mandala, I just think of it as one piece. I try not to add layers for a mandala, because for me it's one continuous drawing. If it needs layers, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, mentally, it doesn't make sense to me. So if you want, you can try that. I have nothing against it, but that's not something that I do. If anybody finds that they've been doing that and there's some significant benefit they see in doing that, let me know. I would love to hear your opinions. Now this is where I'm gonna finish and add another section. So I'm going to increase, like you see, this is the shortcut for having pen size, so I'm increasing that. I'm also going to try and see whether there's something else that I can do. Let me try the other options. Let me try this option. Okay, I don't know whether it's going to turn out right. If it doesn't turn out right, we can always drop it up. Charcoal blend, let me try that. And oh no, it's at the maximum. So that's a good end it gave. I really like that, but that's not the size I was going for. It's at the maximum size, so I need to reduce that to a 4.2 and see whether that helps. No, not what I was going for. It's too light. Okay, that's okay. I can always change it and see what are the other options. Let me try a fountain pen. I don't know how that will be. Ooh, I like the darkness of this, though it's not thick enough, so I might have to go for a thicker option. So instead of doing this over and over, what I can do is I can increase the thickness here to maximum, maybe, for a fountain pen. See? So that helps. And if I did that slowly, I would have something that's more consistent. So now I'm not going to do that, because what I've done is I've done layering and I've damaged it as it is. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to drop it like this, and I'm going to go back to what I had chosen earlier, because I think that's the best option that I have right now. And I'm going to reduce the size a little bit and put dots here. Oh no, dots are too big. So reduce the size again to maybe 3.4 and try the dots again.